Hi, I'm Richard Hall. I'm running for City Council in Auburn. And in my campaign, there are 5 things that I'm focusing on. One is smart budgeting. Another is wildfire prevention. Of course, infrastructure is a major component, and support for our first responders is also important. And last but not least is the use of data and technology to make sure that Auburn prospers well into the future. I'd like to say a little bit about each of those. So smart budgeting, you may have heard about the term SMART, like SMART goals. And what it refers to is having a budgetary goal that is both strategic and actionable and measurable, achievable, it's relatable or relevant, and it's time sensitive. And when we create the city budget, we need to be mindful of those elements and make sure that every element of the budget is working towards the overall vision and goal that we have for the city. In the area of infrastructure, we have several things to be concerned about. When you talk about infrastructure, people naturally think of roads, but there are also sewers, and we have a sewer plant. We also have storm drains, and we have other forms of infrastructure, not the least of which is broadband, all of which need continual focus to bring them up to the current standard and meet the needs of the city. For instance, the requirements imposed by the state on sewage effluent seem to increase every year, and every time they increase, we need to respond to that. That costs us more money. One of the things that I want to focus on is how can we most cost effectively meet the requirements of the state in dealing with sewage effluent. Let me talk about another area, which is wildfire prevention. And many of you have already heard about the shaded fuel break, and that's a program that's well underway and is very productive. But we need to do much more in terms of fire prevention. Auburn, unfortunately, is situated very similarly to the city of Paradise, which met with a catastrophic fire a few years back. We do have more ways out of the city than Paradise had, but we still have that same exposure, particularly because of the canyon and so much of the area that has not yet burned. So wildfire prevention is something that requires action by the City Council on a regular basis. It needs to be made a priority. It is, in fact, the only existential threat to the city of Auburn that raises to the level of top concern. I want to say a little bit about support of our first responders. It's certainly been my privilege to work with the Forgotten Soldier program and help veterans. And now with the creation of R3 Communities, Inc., I'm helping us address those same problems for our first responders. Our firemen, our policemen, they protect us. We need to serve them. And I'm committed to helping first responders deal with the traumatic issues that they deal with in their day-to-day lives and professions. Last but not least is the use of technology and data to further prosperity in the Auburn region. We have many opportunities to employ technology and data that's coming down the line at us so that we can provide well-paid jobs so that our children, and many more of them, can stay in Auburn when they grow up instead of having to move to the Bay Area to get a decent job. And that's a focus of my campaign as well. So one of the things that I want to do if I'm elected will be different from something that anyone has ever done in the city of Auburn, and that is I'm going to be in touch with every voter every time there's a city council meeting and we're voting on something. I will send you an email or a text message saying, hey, we're going to vote on this issue. What do you think? Yes, no, maybe, or something else. And you'll have the chance to respond immediately, and I will take that input back to the council and share it with them so that it's the will of the people that's being heard. This is my approach to trying to get us closer to a direct democracy so that rather than vote once every 2, 4, or 6 years, you get a say in things as they happen, not after they've happened, not just a retrospective, but actually a proactive approach to government.